Hey everyone, it's Patricia from TarantulaHeaven.com. I have Miss Spidey right here, my G Rosea, and today I wanted to share some of the cutest things I think tarantulas do and or possess, because recently Spidey did something really cute and I wanted to share it with you. And it also reminded me that spiders and tarantulas are very interesting, quirky animals. So I wanted to, one, share a picture of what she did, but also to just talk about it. So it's interesting because I think that if you don't have the experience of owning a tarantula, there are a lot of things that you may not know about. Like, these are even things that aren't really spoken about too much on the forums, because I think the forums are more of like the technical information and more of like specific caretaking information, but I don't actually see a lot of talk about how weird these animals can be and almost like silly. So what had happened a few days ago was that I was filling Spidey's water dish, and I accidentally got a little drop of water on her because she was close to it. And she was so upset. She decided to raise her leg, or at least the little leg and paw that I had hit, and she would not put it down for the entire day. And I have known many tarantulas, I've seen many on the internet who have this really weird quirk where like they're super sensitive to not only moisture on their substrate, but also the accidental water drop that might get on them from every now and then. They just absolutely hate it, and they will let you know. And so she kind of freaked out. She wouldn't put her foot down, and she stayed like that for a very, very long time. And it just made me think about how sensitive these guys are. And it's just so silly. And it made me think about some other cute stuff too. So one of the things, and if you guys have been on this channel before, you will know, I love Spidey's interior design projects. I usually like to decorate her enclosure, but every time I do that, she will make it her own. She will dig little tunnels, she will move her substrate around and make hills and valleys, and she will repurpose her plants. She will kind of do what she wants. And I think a lot of tarantulas will do this actually, especially the really heavy webbers. They will also kind of create their own design in their homes. And I really, really love that. I also really love and think it's adorable that they're very clean, particular creatures. So it's not unusual for a tarantula to pick a specific area or corner in their enclosure and use that as kind of like their trash. If you've never seen a tarantula paw, it is absolutely adorable. It really mimics, I guess, a cat paw and claw in the way that it can like retract. It is also used for, like, the pads are used for gripping, particularly when they are climbing. And so I think that that is very sweet and precious. It looks very, very cute, especially when it's fluffy. I also really love watching Spidey be in a certain pose, and I don't know what to call this pose, but it's kind of like she's putting her front legs kind of close together near her face, I guess, and she's doing kind of like this prayer pose, or at least that's what it reminds me of. I think it's absolutely adorable. It kind of makes her look like a little anime spider or something like that. At least that's just how it reminds me of. It's really, really cute, and I can't really tell if it's that like she looks a little bit shy or scared, or it's that she just looks very innocent and sweet. Maybe it's a combination of those things, but that's probably something that I think is really cute, just her laying there and doing that pose. Another thing that I think is really cute, but also beautiful, is just the furriness of tarantulas. And if you pay close attention to their fur, these hairs are actually very, very important. They look very fluffy and sweet and soft, and they are, but these hairs also have a purpose, right? Not only is it their instincts in terms of feeling airflow and kind of using their hairs to detect vibrations and their environment around them, but these hairs are also urticating, so they could be kicked off and gotten onto you, and it would probably be very irritating and painful for you. So the fur is also kind of a source of weapon for the tarantula. But one thing I think is really special about tarantula fur, and I don't know if this is with every species, but I've certainly noticed it with quite a few, and Spidey is one of those, is that they have almost like this undercoat of velvety iridescent fur. And it is so pretty to look at. I don't always see it. It's usually like when the light hits it just right. I've noticed that when Spidey gets close to having a molt, or she, you know, has at least been out of her last molt for a while, that beautiful velvety iridescence kind of fades away and she gets like more dull. And, you know, maybe she's kind of losing that hair because she's preparing for a molt, but I think it's so pretty. It's gorgeous. Another thing I think is really cute is, of course, what we all know as the happy dance. When tarantulas catch their food, they tend to go around in a circle, and it actually does kind of resemble like a little dance. It's very cute. I don't know if it's like their victory dance or whatever, but that's, a lot of them do this. And Spidey actually did a really great happy dance recently, and I was fortunate enough to catch it on film, and I was very happy about that because it's probably one of her more obvious ones. Spidey's pretty subtle. She is an old girl, but this one was a very display. It's a big display of the happy dance, and it was very sweet. Let me think. I also, another behavior that I think is adorable is like the spider yoga or the pancake pose, where Spidey or any other tarantula, they'll just kind of like stretch out their body to the fullest extent, and they'll kind of just like flatten themselves against the floor. And they look so calm, so unbothered, and it is absolutely precious. I think that is something I really love seeing Spidey do. She just looks so chill. I also really love it when I see her kind of doing that over her log, because it looks like she's the most relaxed any spider could be, and I love that. Spidey putting her little paw up after the water drop really had me thinking about how weird and quirky tarantulas are. And I've heard, you know, on Tumblr, people really do humanize tarantulas. And I've often heard them referred to as the nerds of the spider world. And I think that that's a pretty good description of them. So anyway, let me know what other things you think are cute. I know I've definitely made videos about cuteness and tarantulas before, but it's been a while. And every now and then, Spidey refreshes my memory with like a behavior that I haven't talked about before. The more I keep Spidey or tarantulas, the more weird behavior I observe. And I love sharing that with you guys. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful Tarantula Tuesday, and I will see you next week. Bye-bye.